and Q sent me a honey badger.
Hey, what do you think would happen if suppressors became unregulated?
Did he leave peaceful after that?
Because I'm the only guy that has to confront the fucking skull purchase people.
I had a issue with the scope.
To be like this and me see it without me looking at the dot boundary.
FBI found like 3 terabytes of like
Terabytes?
Yeah.
I call it my booty short gun.
Looked like it was like Easter egg hunted all over the room.
Like, can I talk to a human now? And they go, no.
Sell them consistently on Gunbroker, like the high end, no more.
And he went, I love it. I said, does it work? And he said, fuck no.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Shark Coast Tactical Podcast 7. I'm Will Mead. I am the owner and creator. I'm here with my homies. I have Omer.
Hello.
Pierce Stroud.
Hello.
And the amazing
Yeah, there he is.
Dean Carroll. We're at episode 6. If you are watching this, we invite you to...
This is 7.
Oh, wait. Yeah, this is 7. We invite you to smash the like button, man, and hit the bell for notifications and throw a comment in if you like what you hear or if you don't like it, and then share it. No, share it, please. The reason why we do the podcast is we tried to do something similar on Facebook for many years, and we're successful. And then the shadow banning just got too out of control, and now we're here trying to increase our digital footprint, if you will. So please, I hope you enjoy the next hour. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
It's a good day.
Like, what a week, right? What a weekend.
It was a pretty crazy weekend.
Pretty crazy weekend.
Pretty crazy weekend.
Pierce, where were you when Trump was shot?
Somewhere between here and the bar.
Did you start getting text messages? Is that how you... Because you...
No, I got a text message from you, and then I awoke my Turk and told him.
I was sleeping, having a very nice dream, and then Mr. Stroud woke me up and said, they shot Donnie!
You're right. They shot Uncle Donnie. You're right, buddy. You win. You win the 24 bingo.
You were sleeping at 5:30 in the afternoon?
I
Or
was taking a nap.
Really?
Right on, yeah.
I was dreaming, too. It was great. And then,
What was your dream about?
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Falafel?
yes. I dream exclusively of hummus.
What about you, Dean? Where were you when...
I was home, and then my girlfriend walks in the room and tells me, I was like, are you kidding me? And then I got up, and I guess right after she told me, you started calling, so I was already looking for the laptop. I was like, ammo is going to be crazy.
Oh, I called you... I mean, I tried to get a hold of you an hour after it happened.
Yeah, I just found out when you were texting the phone.
So you're in video game world, right? Not even
I think
aware.
I might have been cleaning this thing.
Ah.
Yeah, because I just got home.
No, I went to Discord and found you with your video game friends.
Yeah, they were in there playing.
Man, you got to be...
Because I came back,
on this man
and they
on the
told me,
podcast.
Will came in. I was like, Will came in. Did he leave?
telling
And
a
you were
story.
already gone when I came into the room.
Yeah, no, sometimes I have to get a hold of Dean and he won't answer the phone, so then I go find him on Discord.
I don't keep my phone. I hate walking around with cell phones. I don't know. I don't like it.
But you always find him in Discord with his buddies playing video games. And
I'll
that's
be in
cool.
Discord, yeah.
I don't have buddies in my Discord.
No? Hop in.
I do. Okay, I do. I define you. Say, Dean, please, we got to do something on the website. Please. Get out of Azeroth.
Yeah, but I just found out right before you called, so before that, I didn't even know what happened.
What do you think?
I don't know. Everyone thinks the whole setup thing, and I'm just not sure. It's just terrible. Just terrible.
Typical Dean, right? Switzerland?
Yeah.
Switzerland. What about you, Omar? What do you think?
I feel like we're in a very weird stage in our country where we have to debate whether it's just complete incompetence or being a traitor. It's interesting. Yeah,
I get you.
I hate that that's a debate. Like, hey, are they just this dumb or are they trying to kill us?
I mean, is it like what's the scarier thing that it's possible at this time period in the human history that people are that dumb?
I think the scariest thing is the fact that we came an inch away from probably civil war.
I don't know about that. People say probably civil war, and I think a lot of people are too soft for some violent shit.
For sure, but I mean,
Yeah.
you spend the last 9 years calling a guy Hitler. I mean, if you heard that Hitler himself was giving a speech in your neighborhood,
Would you go try to smoke them?
a lot of people would grab a rifle. So if you're telling everybody for 9 years, this
Obviously,
guy...
not a lot of people, just one person.
Yeah. I mean, all it takes is one person to actually believe he is Hitler.
It's
It's a lot of anodized parts.
the interesting thing about incompetence is I don't know if it's what I have to do for a living to, and since I like know 67 people pretty well and how competent or incompetent they can be, that it's I can imagine people being that incompetent. Like just I mean, like what about like what happened to our FedEx shipment last week?
Yeah.
Like FedEx lost a shipment for what, 10 days?
10 days.
10 days.
30,000 pallets just floating somewhere.
$30,000 worth of shit just sitting like on a pallet in the FedEx warehouse. Oh, what do you want to do with this? I don't know. What do you want to do with this? I don't know. Let's just sit here.
Well, we see it's got a destination attached to the label. Let's leave it alone.
No, but shit like that happens in business constantly. Like people just are fucking incompetent. And I mean, so could it be that they were just that incompetent that they left that building open?
Well, did you see what the director of the Secret Service said on why there wasn't a sniper on that roof?
No.
It was sloped. That's what she said. It was sloped. It was too dangerous for...
Well, I think
Oh,
that
that's
spot
bad.
made a
She said
perfect
that?
spot
She said that.
for a shooter, though.
Yes, she said we didn't want to have guys up there because it was
That's gaslighting.
sloped. In the video, you see other guys on sloped rooftops. Like it's...
No, that's gaslighting though. Yeah. That's a fucking blatant lie.
Yeah.
Right? No?
Yeah,
It's
I think
either
a lie.
it's either incompetence or they're trying to kill the dude who's likely going to be the next president. I don't know which one's worse.
It's weird, right? What about you, Pierce? Are you just going to be Switzerland?
No, I'm erring on the side of gross incompetence.
It's
Because to plan what you're talking about is really impressive. And I don't see it. You've got to expect nothing but perfect. To plan something to go like that, to look like gross incompetence, is a lot harder than I would think it would be. Don't you think?
But then they hire a whole bunch of new people into the Secret Service.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly, like with the girl who came from Pepsi. The person who is in charge of Pepsi's
Good.
security worldwide is now the person who's in charge of our Secret Service. And she was a member of Biden's detail.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to look anywhere else.
And she, one of the big initiatives allegedly was, or is like what's it called, Omer? DEI?
DEI.
No, explain what DEI is, Omer.
DEI is basically diversity quotas. It's
Oh boy.
It's the idea that if you
Yeah.
need to hire a new person, you need to check a box instead of trying to figure out who the most qualified person for the job is.
Pierce, the reason why they had all the girls protecting Trump and not 6'4" guys who could cover him better with their bodies was because the Secret Service person in charge her mission has been DEI in the Secret Service, hoping to get like 30% of the Secret Service to be women.
In this economy?
In this economy.
Unbelievable.
Have you ever seen Miracle, Omar?
Yeah.
Oh, that's how we're going to go into the next segment.
No, because it's what kind of miracle have you seen before?
Someone should have died and they didn't.
Okay, elaborate.
I'd rather not. But,
Oh, really?
I mean, Over the Weekend was a pretty good example of what I would consider a miracle.
I'll tell you one of mine.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of the moderator, but
Go ahead.
have you guys ever seen a miracle?
Yep.
I would say yes. I was walking to elementary school. I believe I was in 3rd grade with my little brothers, 2 years younger than me. We were crossing an intersection during when we're allowed to walk, and some older gentleman way up the street is coming down the street, not speeding. I guess something blinded him. He swung this turn. I jumped out of the way and struck my little brother. And he ended up being okay.
Wow.
That was a miracle.
I one time when like back in the day when I had probably it was like 0 employees. It was Sharkos. It was just me. And I would close the shop and I'd come home and I'd walk my dogs, Jada and Shaka. And I had Duke too at the same time. And I was so dumb back then that I would let Jada and Shaka kind of walk on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't run away or anything. And sometimes like Shaka was kind of not the smartest dog and he would walk into traffic sometimes. And he walked a bit too far and bam.
Ooh.
And I'm talking to Lori on the phone and I hear boom. And I look over and I see the Basenji fly in the air. Just fly.
Oh.
Like fly in the air, and I'm like, oh my God. And then he lands on his ass, and he spins a couple, probably like a 900, spin, and then he crumples. And so Basenjis have like a really crazy voice. And so he starts letting out his Basenji cries, like, and his legs are crumpled. He can't walk. And he's trying to walk. And keep in mind, I have Duke and Jada on leashes, and I lost it. And I dropped my phone, dropped my hat, ran over, and he's just trying to. And he, at the time, he was definitely my favorite dog. Mm-hmm. And he's like trying to walk, and he's screaming, and I pick him up, and the lady's like, I didn't see him, I'm sorry. And I said some choice words to the lady, and then I look to behind me, and there's this Asian kid on a bike, and he's got Jada and Duke on leashes. And he just looks at me, he's like, God told me to come here and help you. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to run to the veterinarian. And he's like, okay, I'll be right behind you. So I live back then on Honore. Mm-hmm. And so I book it, and I've got this broken dog in my arms, and I'm running. And I run all the way to the vet, and I go in, Ashton Animal Clinic, Dr. Walmsley. And I go in, and they see me, and I'm like, ah! And they take the dog, and they go out. And then I smoked back then, so I go outside, and then there's the Asian kid, and he's like, is there anything else I can do for you? And I'm like, no. He's like, look, something told me to come to the street on this day, and come to my church sometime. I'm like, okay. And I take Jada and Duke, go back in. There's a guy out there, and I'm smoking a cigarette because I smoked back then, and he's crying because his dog died, just bawling, and I was like, I'm paying, so I'm like, fuck. So I'm figuring I'm going to go back in there, and they're going to tell me he's Shaka passed. So I finish my cigarette, I walk in, and the doctor comes out, Dr. Walmsley, and she's like, he's okay. I'm like, what? She's like, he is okay. I said, his legs were crushed. He couldn't walk, doc. Mm. And she's like, no, he's okay. He's a little busted up, but he's okay. And I shit you not, like in 2 minutes, they walk out, and he's on his, just tromping along.
Oh, wow.
Because of the Chinaman from Christ?
I don't fucking know. I don't know.
That's deep.
I don't know, but I know that, I mean, that's a miracle, I would think. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a crazy story.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know if stuff like that's a miracle, but like, I mean, I've seen a couple things in my life where like, I'm like, what? And things have happened. I don't want to take up too much more time, but, so and that's not like the only like funky, crazy thing I've seen. I've seen shit that's just insane more than once.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention like my wife, like I kind of think really like, I mean, I think like God really sent an angel to earth, and her name's Lori. I really do think but who else is going to fucking put up with me?
That's fair.
Fair, right?
Everyone
what about you,
has
Pierce?
someone.
My kid's pretty fucking miraculous if I've ever seen it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good thing she looks like her mother.
You think so? Just pulls a picture of Jackie with her mullet and me with mine up next to each other. And you're like, yeah, definitely.
She has a mullet, right?
It's grown out. It's not really a mullet anymore.
Do you guys think that like, what do you think the odds are of him like moving his head and it being a miracle from God?
I think so.
You're doing miracle from God instead of poor marksmanship and bad fundamental skills and iron sights from
100%, yes.
Well, he moved he moved his head.
Yeah, if he hadn't moved his head, Trump would be dead.
He'd be dead.
It's not, poor marksmanship, all that aside. The round was going to hit his skull if he didn't look at a chart.
That thing was already in the air when he moved his head. It was a miracle.
Yeah, he went and looked. He looked at the chart, right?
Yeah.
And he would have been. It would have been bad day.
Yeah, people have graphed it out. People have 3D modeled it. Like the round would have traveled through the back of his skull, hit his brainstem, and offed him on.
Have you seen Generation Kill?
Mm-mm.
That guy.
So when in Generation Kill, the Humvee driver's like, okay, Here I'm alive. Here I'm dead.
Yep.
Alive, dead. Alive, dead. Just like that? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
You know that guy killed himself on the 14th? Evan. The guy who wrote Generation Kill, that article that he wrote it for Rolling Stone, and then it got turned into the miniseries.
The reporter?
The reporter died. Killed himself.
shit.
Yeah, he killed himself July 14th.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, prayers to Evan's family.
Like this? Like yesterday?
2 days ago.
2 days ago?
Yeah. Bummer, right?
Yeah.
Like a fucking... Him and Shannon Doherty. Do you know who Shannon Doherty is?
Mm-mm.
Brenda from 90210, man. She died of cancer. She had brain cancer.
That's pretty
Yeah,
sad.
so you had
Let's see that.
like Richard Simmons died, Dr. Ruth died. They tried to shoot Trump, and I mean that's just what we're thinking. It's been a fucking crazy couple days. What do you think of clone builders? It's not meant to just segue into something completely unrelated. It's just everybody's fucking somber.
Like the people who live on Camino?
Yeah, the people who live on Camino. What do you think of those? No, man. People who build like clone rifles, cloners.
I think they're insane.
You
but I
think they're
respect it.
insane?
In this
No.
economy?
Yeah, I mean,
It's pretty cool.
we're talking about people who will pay, $1,800 for an upper receiver just because it's got a different marking on it.
So tell us the
you got me
definition of cloners, Omar.
Cloners are
You
people.
could probably give us the best.
I mean, yeah, they try to replicate firearms, whether it's firearms that have been in military service or if it's from a movie or a show or whatever it may be. People who try to replicate that firearm down to a T, like every single component of the firearm is an exact match, and they overpay like crazy for it. And I respect the hell out of it. I can't wrap my brain around it. Like our gunsmith across the street, he's one of those. He's got this like Canadian upper he paid way too much money for that looks exactly like every other AR-15 upper on the planet, but it's got like a V instead of an A etched onto it real small. So
Which gunsmith across the street?
Big
Alex.
Al.
Never mind.
Big Al, the gentleman who wears the
Yep.
rainbow Crocs.
again,
It's pretty good with a 1911.
cloners, I love their end product. I respect it. I can't wrap my head around how in depth they go and the lengths they will go to source certain parts.
You think it's worth it at that high price?
I mean, worth it in a way of is it a functionality wise? Absolutely not. But worth it in a way of if you're a collector or if you like cloning, like that's I guess that's the fun of the game is you can't just find any part. You got to find the exact part. Mm-hmm. I can definitely see it. I just can't wrap my mind around it.
I don't know if I would buy a clone gun.
Pierce, didn't you try to build like a clone MK18, like a real one, like back in the day?
Did it twice.
You did it twice.
They're heavy.
So you're a cloner?
They the two Mark 18s that I built from parts, they had front sight blocks and the original Daniel rail and stuff like that. And I did that twice. It was cool. I wasn't trying to like replicate anything or have like a specific movie gun or real life gun that I was trying to replicate, but they got heavy, so I took the front sight blocks off and put Geisley rails on them.
And heavy for you is definitely really heavy.
It's heavy for a 10-inch.
Yeah, your guns are heavy. Do you know of any other people like you know of any crazy clone stories besides Big Al? Big Al, is that the one he painted into zebra colors?
Not that specific one, but I'm sure he will be. But he does have a blue tiger stripe M16
From Modern Warfare.
from Modern Warfare 2. Yeah,
gotcha.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a clone guy.
Yeah.
He's got it. He really good ideas and good, but he won't. I've tried to get him just to paint for us. He won't do it. He doesn't want to paint.
He doesn't want to be a painter.
He doesn't want to be a painter. Like he likes to paint his clone guns, and I guess so. I didn't understand that. I saw him shooting the blue tiger stripe M16, but I didn't really know what it was, and I didn't want to go over there and make fun of him or anything. But now it makes sense. It's from Modern Warfare. I really should play video games. Oh, that's a great
Get stuck
idea.
in a corner, jumping up and
Why
down.
don't you be Omar? Why don't you be like a video game tutor?
Oh my god.
Tutor?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a very lucrative job opportunity.
Oh, well, I'm.
It's a skill issue.
It'll
There's
be.
like websites for it.
Is there?
Yeah, professional players will teach you how to play whatever game they play professionally.
Well, I'm not a
and people pay them.
I don't play anything professionally, so I don't know.
Are you going to teach the Helldivers Academy?
That aren't,
What's Helldivers Academy?
Helldivers is a great game that I'm in love with
you still play it?
every day.
Yeah.
I do my part.
Spreading managed democracy.
Across the galaxy, baby.
Did you guys go shooting this weekend?
It's the first weekend I haven't gone shooting in a
Oh,
very,
because
very
you
long time.
did inventory.
Because I was stuck here doing it.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
I came in on Sunday and scanned guns for a few hours.
I'm so sorry.
We have people for that.
Nah.
Where are the people for that?
I'm one of the
He's
people.
one of the people.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot. I'm sorry, buddy. Get you promoted for
But yeah,
what you do.
we have, I forget the exact number. We had around 13,000 guns in that
Yeah.
building, and we had to find every single one of them. So
You guys should customize.
that was
those and
most of
send
my
them out.
weekend.
I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, it's fine.
I feel so bad. When I had the meeting with Colby and said, "Hey, you guys need to do a deep audit and a deep self audit and make sure everything is perfect," I didn't mean like work on Sunday.
We don't have time during the week.
What about at night?
At night?
Yeah,
I'd
at
rather
night.
coming in the morning than coming at night. If I'm coming in on a Sunday,
Okay. It didn't come down from me. Hey, you need to fucking work your ass off on the only goddamn day you have off. And you have to bring 5 employees and fucking ruin their weekend too.
And
I didn't say that.
And pay 'em overtime.
And pay 'em overtime. I didn't say that.
is that your primary concern?
No. I mean, I'm happy if that's what you guys did. Like
no.
No, I am. I'm happy. I gave those instructions, I think, on Thursday, and you guys went and did it. That makes me really happy. It does. Thank you so much from the bottom of my
Absolutely,
heart.
sir.
Knock it out.
Did you go shooting, Dean?
I did.
Did you shoot that beautiful gun right in front of you?
Yes, I did.
thing's a
Saturday
freight
and
train,
Sunday.
dude.
Oh, you shot twice.
Yeah. Well, on Saturday, I think I only shot maybe like 6 rounds through it. I had a issue with the scope, and I had a buddy I haven't seen in a while that came out shooting. I haven't shot with him in 3 years, so I put that away, and we pulled out some like ARs and some pistols and shot. Went up to Tampa to shoot. Never went up that way.
Where'd you go shooting in Tampa?
What is the name of that place? The 100-yard indoor range. Shooters World. Yeah. That was my first time
Do
there.
they still have free soda?
Oh, I didn't get any free soda. So if they did, they didn't offer me any.
I got kicked out of there one time.
Did you?
Why?
Oh, yeah, I got kicked out.
What
Why?
did you do?
Is that not?
They seemed pretty lax there. It wasn't like they weren't like tyrants with the rules. It was
I got kicked out of there. I did.
Is that not on board enough that you had to ask him why he got kicked out?
I'm
Or you just
curious.
tried-
There's a multitude of possibilities here.
you could have just picked one of those and ran with it.
I got
wanna
kicked
know.
out of there. So again, back in the day when I had maybe 2 employees, and it was back during one of the gun booms, and I worked probably 9 weeks without a day off. And Lori was like, "You need to go shooting. We're going." And so I think she made me take a day off, and we went up to Shooters World in Tampa, and they have carts that you
Yeah.
can bring, right? And so, and I, long time ago, I'd bring a lot, and so I filled up at least 2 shopping carts worth of guns, and brought them in, ready to go shoot. And I went to the range, and I opened up, and we had just gotten into NFA back then. And so I had NFA stuff. I had suppressors and maybe a machine gun. I'm not sure. And the range officer was just fucking right up my ass immediately. He's like, "What do you got there?" And I'm like, "Suppressors and stuff like that. And you got stamps from all those?" And I said, "I'm an FFL, man. I'm Will from Sharkers Tactical. How are you?" And he's like, "I don't give a fuck who you are." Ooh. I said, "No, but I mean, I can call my compliance guy right now and give you stamps." He's like, "I need stamps for fucking all these goddamn things." So I called Chris and said, "Hey, can you send me all the Form 2s or whatever they are? What are they, Form 2s? What's the actual
The threes?
the Form 3s?" I said, "Can you send me the Form 3s?" And he's like, "Yeah," because they're suppressors that we have on the books for the shop, the shop suppressors. And he sent them to me, and I gave them to the guy, and then he just kept riding my ass, and he came back, and once I showed him all the forms that we had, he's like, "Oh, all right, that's fine." And then he just want to make sure you're safe, buddy. And then he walked away, and then came back, and I think I had the KSU, the salvo, and he came back and was like, "What's that?" And I just put the gun down, and I and I walked up to him and was like, I'm like, "Look, man, if you're gonna fucking ride my ass, we've got a fucking problem." And he's like, "You're out of here." and so I had to pack up all my stuff and leave. I got kicked out of Shooters World.
Oh man.
All right.
You're out of here.
You're out of here. It was like the umpire. You know, he probably was an umpire. Like he did the umpire thing. And fuck, you're out of here. How they do it? Ah.
Close enough.
Sorry.
Close enough.
But how was your shooting your long range?
I love this thing. It performed higher than what I expected. So
How long did you stay out there in the summer? In the summer heat
on
of Florida?
Sunday,
No, whatever day when you're shooting that Goliath over there. I'm gonna call
I
that
got
Goliath.
out there at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And I left at a little before 4, right before the range closed.
Are you gonna rattle can that?
Am I a rattle can it? No.
You're not a rattle can type guy, are you?
No, I'm not.
No, yeah, he's not going to rattle can that. Let's rattle can the proof barrel. Let's rattle can that $3,000 optic. What do you think, Dean? Is that a good idea?
Yeah,
I
no
wish
rattle
that thing was
can.
$3,000. God.
Isn't it that optic is what? It's 30.
$4,400.
It went up.
It went up.
It went up.
Oh Jesus! I think we needed to reding our stuff. It went up, really?
Yeah, I
one
just
is that?
realized that.
The
That's
6 to
the-
36?
Yeah, 6 to 36 Gen 3.
That's the new one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah.
So how do you have the new gen? How do you have the new one and we don't have one?
Friends and family program.
I get it, but like we have them on back order. But
Dean got
I've
it.
had them before.
yeah, not.
Yeah, I know I've seen them here before.
Vortex Day is Saturday. I hope we have them.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Vortex Day is Saturday?
Yeah, it's Stribog and
Yeah,
Vortex.
yep.
So today when I asked what can we put on the island with the Stribog stuff, Vortex didn't come to mind.
I got a lot on my mind, man.
All right, I was just making sure.
He's thinking about what we're going to talk about in the podcast. Come on.
You got Luke for that.
You could always just look on the event day page on the website if you ever have a question about what.
You gave me all the events. I've got them all on my calendar. I didn't.
Hey, there's a big sign out front. If you just like peek your head out the
Oh,
door.
shit, it says Stribog Vortex.
Yeah. It happens.
We're gonna have a Stribog buffet.
The Nacho Bandit will
Love
be here.
bugs.
Now we're gonna have different stocks, different braces, different muzzle brakes, different build configurations, so people can kind of either buy the Stribog they want or they can buy the parts and trade them out.
Did you talk to my
nice.
gunsmith about this yet?
No, but I have the Stribog clan coming, so I'm sure if the gunsmith is disagreeable about putting the things together, they will do it.
You got to ask nicely.
Believe me. I think like I don't speak as quick as I think, or I forget things. Probably I just forget things. So you're right. I should ask Nate. Hey man, this is gonna happen. Do you mind?
They're bringing 60 buckets of bullshit up here. like, hey, you're gonna have to put all this on.
Oh, great. That sounds good. I'm not already pissed off.
Yes, I shot this thing all day.
How many rounds of ammo?
Save it.
3 boxes, 65. So I'm trying to get to 100 because they said after 100 it breaks in the barrel will speed up and
you bore
the,
snipe it,
the gun really settles in at that point. So this weekend, breaking it on Sunday.
I think it's wonderful, Dean. It took
Thank
you
you.
4 months to think of it, and then you finally bought it.
Yeah, that was a lot of thinking.
It was a lot of thinking.
It was a lot of thinking on
Paid
this
off?
one. Yeah, it did pay off.
What about you, Pierce? Did you have you gone hunting, shooting this week?
I went with you on Saturday night.
Yes. We had a date.
That was it.
That was it.
How was it?
His staccato laser thing from Surefire is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Like when you go to shoot it, like when you normally push out the staccatos, like it's the same as everything else. But with this thing, he's got this giant mailbox on top of his staccato, and then when you go to press the laser up, I felt like I was coming in lower and like angling the gun up to be able to shoot off the side of the acro, and it was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Let me see that thing. So like, I had to come like lower and up like that, and then I was off of the side of the acro watching
Oh,
the
okay, for
IR.
the night vision. Okay.
Yeah, so I couldn't get it like to be like this and me see it without me looking at the dot bouncing around the acro and shit. So I just kind of pressed it up like that and was shooting it all like off the side of the gun. I thought it was freaking cool.
You need to get one, Omer.
I'm aware.
No, like you should find. I was thinking about this. Like if you had a IR laser on that Glock you shoot all the time, oh my god, you'd love it.
Yeah.
It's-
I think I'm gonna get the VR too.
It's so much fun. But you really like to you really like shooting your Glock 17. Is that what it is? Like and you like drawing and you like going fast and you can go really fast.
I'd have to buy a new holster.
We have a holster dude who comes to the shop.
Yeah, but I spent like $300 on a Safari Land. I don't want to buy another one.
Just for nighttime.
I'll figure it out.
No, it's I don't understand. Like I'm perplexed why you see all these videos of night vision and people aren't shooting handguns more.
Usually people don't put lasers on handguns. That's pretty rare. Like, you're one of the only people I know that does it.
It came out, I think, 2 years ago, and I think Streamlight had theirs out before. But
Yeah, all the ones I see, people with binos, they'll tilt their head up and look under their nods to try to see the red dot, and people with monos, they'll either bring it to their off eye or something along those lines. I really don't see IR lasers on.
yeah, I watched the T-Rex video.
Did you know?
I did. I watched the T-Rex video of shooting handguns with nods.
Cool.
I did. Well, that guy gets hate, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
That's the VR too. How did I get so far away?
You should get that too.
Okay.
Think about it. Think about how much fun it would be if you just, because you don't have to. It's so much fun.
That's probably dead now.
That's
I
okay.
need a new battery.
I got a new battery. I can get better.
That's the
No,
biggest
we
problem.
just did that. It was on Viz and off when I grabbed it.
Oh, okay, good.
No, we went shooting. We did night vision out at the other private range we go to, and I used handguns for the first time with the laser, and it was pretty cool. If I would have stayed out there all night, but the bugs were eating
Everything.
everything, and it's good we came back, because when we came back, by the time I got home it was 12:10, and so that was just enough time, I think, to be away from my wife and for her not to get mad.
So you got to show up with a full body skin suit.
No.
What is that?
Whoa.
Make
no.
sure the bugs don't get you.
That's what you were talking about?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, where's your head at?
The same place
Brain.
Dean's went. Dean was terrified.
What's a fucking full body skin suit?
It doesn't sound great when he's talking
doesn't
about you
sound
getting home
great,
to your
right?
wife at 12:10 and she's pissed because you haven't been there. It doesn't sound like that's really like him talking about bugs, dude.
So you and Dean are a different brand then, huh? But I mean, we should buy night vision.
I am.
Buy night vision like tomorrow.
Okay.
Come tomorrow, like bring your money in, and I'll cut you a deal.
I'll do the numbers again. We'll do it right now.
We'll do we'll do it right now.
I'll bring cash tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what, the AGM people did me a solid though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they did me a solid when I had to send it back, like it blemmed. Like Kevin touched it and it fucking
Oh my
blemmed.
god.
Oh, the pube hair.
The pube hair or something, and they really set us up with.
That's like saying
Thank
Kevin
you.
in cap struck my suppressor.
It's just it's just what are the odds? But that's all right.
Kevin, I will not tolerate the Kevin hate.
No, I wasn't giving any.
I'm
I was
not giving
sticking up for
Kevin hate.
Kevin.
Luke proposed a pretty cool question, or he was like, "Hey guys, I want you to talk. What do you think? What do you think would happen if suppressors became unregulated?"
That's the best Luke impression I've ever heard.
That's so bad.
That's a bad one.
I think a lot of people would start grabbing tubes and drilling holes in them and selling them as suppressors, and then you would get this whole new breed of people of good enough, but for cans, where they're just like, oh, why would you spend $1,000 on a Surefire when you can just take this here oil filter?
Yeah.
Just as good. I think that would be the number one thing that happened.
What about you, Dean?
I just think more people would own them. Yeah, some will be made if it's not regulated, but they would be shitty, just like Omer said. Just more people would own them. I think it'd be great.
That's interesting. Like you'd have entrepreneurs everywhere, just
Yeah.
the dirties of the dirty, like the people working in.
Imagine how good the main name brand suppressors would be, though.
Well, I don't think that any of the name brand suppressor companies have the infrastructure to support everybody being able to own cans. Like, even just with the wait times going down, everything went out of stock for like a month.
I'm still chasing suppressor accessories around all over the place.
I think suppressor accessories would either be impossible to find, or you would have to buy one a dude made in his garage.
I just need more cherry bomb.
But with the main ones come down in price, with everyone selling these homemade cheap ones, then people will start like,
They
this
can
is
have
good.
the homemade cheap ones.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want
no,
one homemade cheap
I feel like the actual suppressor companies, they would be so quickly out of stock on everything. Cans mainly, but like half by 28 pistons would be worth their weight in gold.
They already are. It would drive the price up on the expensive cans.
I back ordered half by 28 pistons, I think, when it started, and they still haven't come in.
Done it twice since then. I'm just hoping some show up.
Yeah. The black market for suppressor accessories, like how there becomes like a pseudo black market for ammo when when an ammo scare happens, that's what would happen with accessories. Prices of suppressors would rise. I do think the people would quickly figure out, the Mormons would quickly figure out how to increase their infrastructure to accommodate the can surge. But I think all of it is a complete mute point because it would never happen.
No, they're never going to toss the NFA. It's been
And I
90
think
years.
I think furthermore, the people stroking the fire gives people false hope, and like it creates a whole subculture of people that think that, well, I'm never going to buy a suppressor and give the government money because I know one day it's going to get taken off the NFA, and with all the work that they've been doing in Texas, that and people, they come in and they look at your suppressors and look around and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to wait.
That's the same thing as the people who don't want to buy them because they think the wait's too long. Them waiting to buy it because the wait's too long is not going to make their wait any shorter. So they should have just bought it already.
But I think that like the one thing I think is consistent with me is I'm teachable. Like if you fuck me, I'll learn from you fucking me. And it sounds dirty.
Quote that.
No, like if you fucking do me dirty, I will learn from it. And I remember when everybody thought the Hearing Protection Act was going to go through, it was like a big deal, and everybody would talk about it, and everybody wrote posts about it, and everybody would talk shit to people saying, "Why are you buying a suppressor? The Hearing Protection Act is going to go live
Because they're cool.
You know, and Trump's going to help us," and it was all bullshit. And people talked about how they were petitioning Congress and how they were friends and how like they were buddies and it was a done deal, and it never went anywhere, and it killed suppressor sales for months.
I remember.
And the thing is like, do you think that like the government's never going to give up free money?
Yeah, I
Like,
agree with
like
that.
what you think? You think the government's going to say, "Yeah, let's just give up that $200 per stamp"? Yeah, no fucking way. Like the one consistent thing about the government is their love of taxes.
Yeah,
Like they love taxes.
too much.
We hate taxes.
I hate taxes. They suck. But this is a good one. Do you think like we've entered a different epoch in the firearms world where revolvers are now irrelevant?
There's very niche use cases. Like there's always that one guy who'll carry a snub-nosed 38 because he's 100% sure the fight's going to go to the ground, and he'll have to press his gun against the other person's gut, and the Glock will go out of battery. It's very niche cases.
Have you really ever met a guy who said that?
Yes.
Yes.
In the store daily.
Really?
But apart from those niche cases aside, practicality-wise, obviously no, in my opinion. But cool factor-wise, I think they'll never die.
Like what, Pierce? When's the last time you sold a revolver?
Saturday.
Interesting. Okay. Dean, when's the last time you seen one go online?
It's been a while.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
What revolver was it?
LCR.
Yeah, so a little snub-nosed. Like that's it. Like I actually
It wasn't my choice.
I carry a 22 Magnum. I think what's it called, the 351.
Yep.
I carry that like sometimes. I call it my booty short gun. Like I'm wearing like really small shorts.
Ugh.
It's pretty pathetic. They're small shorts, but that's why I use the revolver. But still, like, I mean, revolvers are a big part of the industry, and I mean, there's tons of SKUs like Anacondas, Pythons, 686s, the multitude of Smith & Wesson revolvers, the multitude of Charter Arms, the multitude of Taurus, and all these different revolver companies. That's been their bread and butter. The gunsmiths who know how to put them together it's a different brand of gunsmith. And revolver sales and revolver culture has been in the toilet for years. but now it's non-existent. Like back 3 years ago during COVID, we could sell them consistently on Gunbroker, like the high end Smith & Wesson revolvers, no more. Like that whole market's dead, gone. And I mean, I don't know if it'll ever come back. And what do they do? Like, do they just fuck 686s, fucking pipe? I mean,
You talking about people moving away from like carrying 442s and shit like that? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, I think there'll always be a place for the 442, but when does a company say, you know what, the juice isn't worth the squeeze?
I don't know. Smith & Wesson just revamped the Bodyguard. I don't see them changing anything anytime soon.
Elmer, have you seen that?
I showed it to him this
He
morning.
showed it to you.
The good old bodyguard.
They lost a lot of people when the capacity started to get real. Mm-hmm. When the capacity started to get real, and we can carry, Omar's got a Glock under his shirt, and it's got 16 bullets in it, and he's built like a twig.
Another 15 to the side.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I see it going the way of capacity. And when was the last time you saw people with a speed loader?
Luke.
When was the last time you saw somebody relevant with a speed loader?
I think coolness keeps them alive. I
No,
think.
when's
We're
the
talking about big iron posting. I understand.
I'm all about it being cool, but like, when's the last time someone besides Luke went to the private range and shot a revolver?
Besides Luke?
Besides Luke,
I haven't shot my 19
Never.
in years.
I've got a couple cool ones. I've got like,
It's all relative.
no, I mean I do have a couple, but the last time I shot one of mine was when I lived in Plant City. So at least 4 years ago.
Probably needed a revolver in Plant City, riding around on horses and taking the buggy to the general store.
The buggy. When I rode that buggy, because I'm not good enough to ride a horse,
Gotta go
but I could use a
gotta
buggy.
go into town and get some.
I had to go into town,
provisions.
get some provisions. Absolutely.
Took the Oregon Trail to Sarasota. where
Get some
Oregon
get some
Trail.
bait for the bear traps and shit. The possums,
I think
possum stew.
I think revolvers will go down the route of the lever gun.
They are. They're already there. They're novelty items at this point.
Yeah.
Although I will put in Nate's opinion, our gunsmith Nate. He's got a full belief that if everything goes to shit and like the whole country becomes California and they'll ban all semi-auto pistols and rifles, everybody will have a lever action or a revolver and it'll just be cowboy too. They'll ban all gas cars. They'll ban all semi-auto rifles and everybody will just be riding on horseback,
and
lever
I'm-
guns and revolvers again.
I'm here for that, but I just don't think that's what we're dealing with right now.
No.
If that's what happens, by all means,
I still think lever guns are cool.
I do too.
I think they're cool, and I think they have a place. And go fuck yourself if you don't.
I like lever guns. I like revolvers. I just think that the whole
Do you know, like
last
last podcast we did, I think I went home that night and I was like, "This motherfuckers talking so much shit about lever guns. Fuck them."
nothing we said was wrong.
I was gonna text you guys and like, "You guys are dicks.
We are, but
All
that's
of you
not
are
why.
fucking dicks."
Yeah, you're gonna have to get over that.
No, it's all right. I like lever guns. I'm gonna buy another one. Like
I've got plenty. I'll sell you whichever one you
I am.
want.
I'm
We
gonna.
got a
I've
bunch
got
of them
a.
out there.
I found a
Get good deal on
three.
one of
I
those.
found a Henry X 357. I'm gonna buy that tomorrow.
You have a Henry
You
X
have a Henry
357.
X357.
I
It's
do
got a-
not.
It's got a rugged 9 on it.
It definitely does.
It's a Henry X 45 long cold.
Oh man, it's better than 44.
Absolutely. I haven't, but that's all right. What? So when you start shooting, if you can think back in the day when you started, what was the one thing that you cheaped out on, if any, that you wouldn't have cheaped out on knowing now what you know?
A red dot. I cheaped out on a red dot on my first handgun.
Really?
And
Explain.
I got what red dot was that? A Venom? Vortex Venom?
Ooh, so
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and I got it off Amazon because it was cheap. And I was like, this will work just as good. Just a little speck in some glass. And the dot was terrible. And just everything about it was a bad experience. And the time I saved up and got something decent, I'll never do that again. I will never do that again.
what did you put the Venom on?
Glock 17.
And it didn't work?
It worked. It's just I'm always adjusting the brightness of it, going to the same range, and then was bursting. I didn't understand the bursting because I just got into guns.
Did it hold zero?
No. But caveat, I don't know if I was just a bad shooter and it could have had something to do with it, but it just wasn't working out for me. I almost went back to iron sights. And then my friend said, no, stick with it. Red dots are better. I did stick with it and just brought something different. I actually just threw that in the trash this week, and I found it on my desk.
Attaboy.
Good. You can see the refresh rate on the Vortex pistol dots for some reason.
Oh my god.
Like if you shake it side to side, you'll see it like trailing. It's like lagging.
Oh wow. But I mean, for years you couldn't get people off the Venom or what was the other one, the
really?
Viper?
Yeah. the
Oh,
Viper's
people
in-
were for years. People were
so hot for them things.
they were so hot for him for years. People would come in and they would want Venoms or what's the other one, the Viper?
Yeah, the Viper.
They'd want the Venom or the Viper, and
Which happen to be different cuts. Right?
which happened to be different cuts, and because they were like a cool $200 on Amazon.
Yeah.
And people would come in and there was once upon a time like you could not find RMRs.
Then Hollow Sun came in here and paddled that ass.
Paddle that ass.
Thank God for Holocene.
Thank God for Hollow.
Hollow Sun saves the day.
There's this guy, Derek Schiller. He's one of the head mechanics for I think Porsche and Audi, and he's been like customer since the gun show days without a shop. And I remember he came in like the first good red dot was Spider. You remember those? It was Spider. The company was Spider, and then the second good one was like Holosun came out, and Derek was the first guy I knew who had one, and he came in with one, and I was like, "What the fuck's that?" And he's like, "Oh,
Hollow Sun.
this is gonna make you money." I'm like, he's like it's better than Vortex and it's cheaper. And I was like, oh, because you couldn't get accounts with Vortex either.
No.
So I got in a couple times. I got in shouting matches with the Vortex people. Not really shouting matches, but they have a canned response for dealers when you try to sign up with them. And I went to the top part. They had 2 booths at SHOT Show. And I went to the top part and said, hey, I would really like to become a Vortex dealer. And they gave me this really good canned answer.
I said, yeah, get in line, pal.
And then I went downstairs and the guy said the same exact thing to me. The same exact thing. And I was like, man. And I got really upset about it. But you could not get Vortex. And so you were limited. Like there was no other inexpensive company to buy red dots off of.
Yeah.
And everybody were like Vortex soldiers. You know, people just loved them, and I didn't know enough about them. Like I didn't understand like why people were so diehard Vortex, and I was like, oh, it's because it's fucking cheap. That's why. And it
Also, that warranty.
yeah, but
God, I love
that,
Vortex's warranty.
yeah, it was a price that made me buy it. It was cheap.
yeah, it was cheap.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was thankfully given pretty good advice when I started. Thank you again, Nate. But I would have 100% bought a cheap Amazon red dot thinking it was good enough. It is not. Do not cheap out on your optic. Whether it's irons or a red dot or whatever it is, don't cheap out on it. It is the primary targeting system for the firearm you're using. It's what decides where the bullets go. You don't want that thing to start walking off after some recoil. It's not a good idea. I would say you can cheap out if it's your first rifle you're building and you're trying to cut back. Cheap out on the light, that's fine. Cheap out on whatever you're going to get. Don't cheap out on the optic.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, not real.
Well, I mean, what do you spend the money on, the rail or the optic?
Rail as in like handguard?
Yeah, the handguard.
If you're not...
Oh, well, it doesn't even matter anymore because there's so many good stock guns like the
Everything.
like I mean
If you're not putting an IR
the
device-
IWI.
Yeah. If you're not putting an IR device on it, I personally don't think your handguard's that important. Like the cheap clamp-on plastic one's going to do just fine for what you're using it for, but the optic is very important. Very important.
Who makes the best inexpensive optic in the game?
Holosun.
Holosun,
Undoubtedly,
right.
no question about it. And it sucks that that's the only option that you really got if
For
you
now.
want. For now. But
What do you think of Swamp Fox?
they've got some okay stuff. I would still take a Holosun.
Pierce met them and hung out with them when they first came out in the basement at SHOT Show. He's like, boss, we should look at this stuff. And
We did. And I didn't recommend buying any of it.
We did. I didn't. At the time, the boxes really gave me the heebie-jeebies. Like
That was in Chattanooga last year.
no, like they when they first launched the boxes they had, they were just kind of like,
They're still
whoa.
bad.
Are they still bad?
Yeah, we looked at them at Chattanooga last year.
Oh man, yeah, you need better boxes.
They spend a lot on advertising.
Good for them.
They're in like a lot of video games.
We're trying to do
I've never seen them.
Swamp Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in like 4 games that I play. It's odd to see them because like all the other stuff that they've got is like a military use stuff, and then there's
Wait, what
Swamp
are those
Fox.
little optics? I guess someone sent us in the green box.
Zero Tech.
Zero Tech.
Oh, okay.
That's different.
That's different. But we're kind of this close to doing like some type of collaboration with them and a distributor, like one of our Glocks, all
With who?
Swamp Fox. We have the PO. We're supposed to do, or we have, anyway, we have like the plans in place. What about you, Pierce? What was the thing that you cheaped out on then back in the day that you wouldn't cheap out on now if you knew?
That was a Barska LPVO. You remember Barska?
Bariska?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Bariska. Do you say Bariska or Barska?
I said Barska, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. That was years ago. That was probably 8 years ago.
Was it a LP? It was a Bariska LPVO.
Yeah, I think it was like a 1-6 or a 1-8, something like that.
Did you hit anything with it? Like, did you take down any hogs with it or anything, or was it just fucking trash straight out of the box?
I was still hunting with traditional hunting rifles at that point. I hadn't made the conversion over to not wanting to have to work a bolt action or a lever action. Now I don't want to.
You think what I did? But there wasn't the problem when I first started.
Tapco stocks, Chinese
Tapco
laser,
stocks.
Chinese red dots.
You know, I did one time. Like, so when, like, there was nobody to teach you. You're doing stupid shit back in the day, and
no sick salesman making fun of you when you buy something.
there were no sick salesmen making fun of you. There was nothing like that, and there weren't, like, there was no social media with people.
Gun slaps.
No, there's no guns. There was no Instagram. But I went and bought like a complete kit for the Mossberg 500.
Ooh.
Yeah, like it had a quad rail and a
Vertical foregrip.
vertical foregrip.
Nice.
And M4 stock or whatever. And I went to Knight's Trail and I shot a slug out of it and the whole fucking thing fell apart.
Yeah.
It's like I think the rail
Came in
flew
a
out.
blister pack.
It came like in a blister pack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get the same thing?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. You have made me sell them before. I know what you're
No. No, it was. No, we've never sold. Like, I bought it from Amazon and it came like in this thing and I put it together and it
Thanks,
fucking shot at one
Bezos.
time. It fell apart. Dude, here's something kind of crazy. Like, do you think Trump will become anti-gun now that he's been shot at with an AR-15?
No.
Yeah, I hope not.
I don't see
Especially since his vice president pick.
I like that. A resounding no. What do you think? What's JD Vance's stance on the Second Amendment?
There's a website that tracks every single politician that votes and basically ranks them, gives them like a rating on how they voted in terms of the Second Amendment, and he's at 100%. He's voted in favor of the Second Amendment every single time without fail. That makes me pretty happy.
What website is that?
I don't know the name of the website, but I've been to it a couple of times. I'll pull it up for you after the podcast. But it ranks like every single bill that he's voted on, and it lets you know what the goal of the bill was and what he voted and whether or not that was a pro or an anti-Second Amendment vote. He is 100%. He has voted in favor every single time.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust him because he grew a beard.
I also don't know.
Like, he was clean shaven at one time and now he has a beard. And he looks better. I mean, you look at him like, all right, yeah, I can follow that guy. But then I saw pictures of him without a beard. I'm like, hey.
There's a video of him talking about how he's a never Trumper and he never wants him in the office and whatnot. So the trust thing is still up in the air for me too. But specifically when it comes to his voting record, I'm pretty happy with it.
Do you think it's a little odd that that's the guy he picked in case, something happens to him, that he takes over?
I really wanted Vivek.
Me too. Who did you guys want? Or
I had no opinion on it.
and Pierce, no opinion on it?
That guy's a Marine. I'm supposed to follow that.
I like that though. I can honestly say that, like, of every Marine I've met, like, 99.9% of them I have no complaints. Like, they're fucking weirdos sometimes, but other than that, everyone I've ever met is a pretty decent person.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, not to fucking blow the Marine Corps, but every Marine I've ever met, like, they're fucking cool people.
They signed up to be shock troopers. They better be.
Signed up to protect the boats, man.
Don't want to fuck with the boats.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question.
Oh, God.
You can't say me.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
What do you hate most about work?
Oh.
It's only when something fucks up. That's it.
Elaborate.
He's talking about a pain in the ass. He hates dealing with a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I don't.
He's like, I want to say Will so much. I just want to say his name. You son of a bitch.
No, just when something just goes wrong, and it just sometimes things like just fall apart before we fix it. That's the only thing.
Not the black marketeer stealing optics. That's a bad one.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Only when it happens. Yeah, that's pretty fucking annoying.
Okay. Do
Yeah.
you know what that is, Omar?
Yeah, I've been a part of one.
Oh, you've been a part of one?
Yeah, I came to you and I was like, hey, boss, there's this gentleman on the phone. He's saying that he really needs a Vortex Razor Gen 3, like, today. And he's like, he's asking if we can, like, priority mail it to the... And you were instantly like, nope, hang up, get rid of that. You can elaborate on what it was, because you taught me there, but I had no idea. I just picked the phone like, hello, you want Vortex? I have Vortex.
You want $3,000? All right. So there's in the gun industry, there are black marketeers, shady elements. What they do is they order high-end optics that they can't get shipped to Europe on stolen credit cards. And if you have an automated website, which many gun shops do, they'll sometimes get through your defenses and it goes right out. And unless you can stop it, you take a $3,000 loss.
You're talking about that Jordan dealt with that and then sent the guy to go figure out what was going on.
Something like that, yeah.
That's what you're talking. Okay, I'm following.
Yeah. That's probably a story we can't talk about.
That's why I said it the way I said it.
Yeah. But what about you? What's your worst thing?
Probably coming across a problem late when we could have fixed it if we would have known about it sooner, and then not being able to fix it because of the time that's gone on and us not being properly informed when it happens for us to be able to fix it. Nothing in particular, but that's probably the most frustrating thing. Like we could have gotten ahead of something, or we could have fixed something if we would have known about it, but then it happened because something dumb happened, and then we have to go back and fix it when it could have been taken care of.
That's kind of elusive. Why don't you give an
Not
example?
at all. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I don't think the people out there do. But that's all right. Omar.
Shipping companies.
Shipping.
Shipping companies.
Boss, I've already had my beer.
My whole job is to just get everything out of the building on Friday, and I do. And I go and enjoy my weekend, and I go in on Monday to check the tracking numbers, and one of them just like, yeah, this package doesn't exist. It's like, what? So I try to call them, and then it's some robot on the other line, and it's like, hello, how can I help you? And I'm like, can you please, like, let me talk to a human?
Find my box.
They're like, I'm sorry, I can't connect you until I know what your problem is. So I tell them what my problem is. I'm speaking to this fucking robot. And then the robot's just like, okay. And I'm like, can I talk to a human now? And they go, no. Goodbye.
The magic conch
Like,
from SpongeBob.
every single robot does this, where, like, up until you're at the end of your problem with the robot, they will not let you talk to a person. And the second you get to the end, they're like,
Goodbye.
sorry, goodbye. And it just hangs up on you. And I got to go through all of that again if I want to call them again. And it's just the fucking worst. I just want to talk to a human being.
Why don't you just talk to the reps?
I was going to say, call the rep.
We don't have a rep for every shipping company. I'm trying to get that established now, where I have some human to call that can figure it out for me. But before then, I have sat in that office just screaming, let me talk to a human, let me talk to a human, let me talk at a fucking robot. And it's like, it makes me
Can
feel
you
like
get us some video of that?
I'm sure you got it on the security cameras. I've lost my shit at robots over phones before. I hate it. I hate it so much. Just,
Okay.
Calm down. It's all right.
Robots.
robots on phones.
Shipping robots.
Shipping robots, yeah.
Okay. I would think the thing I hate the most about work would be, I really hate it when people quit. I really hate it when people quit or when people get fired. Like, I think that I failed, whether the person quit or whether they got fired. Like, we had a chick walk out today. Yeah, we had a girl walk out today, and I didn't get a chance to talk to her. She won't answer the phone. So, but like, whether who's wrong, like, it's the worst. And even when we have to fire someone, that it's the worst. Like, but what I really hate is when people try to be funny, and then they argue with you. So when people try to buy guns via straw purchase, and then they argue, because I'm the only guy that I'm the only guy that has to deal with people so people will come in and try to buy guns for other people. And then you have to confront them about it and tell them you can't do that. And then it becomes sometimes like a thing, and they start yelling and shit like that, and it's the worst fucking part of the job.
I love it when they pull the race card. They do that all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, you're not selling to me because I'm black. It's like, no, I'm not selling to you because your boyfriend's outside telling you what gun to buy.
Exactly. Well, like
We had the guy. What is it? Last week, he's like, "You're like, why are you asking him how much, or why are you telling him how much money it is?" He's like, so he can send me the money, and I'm like, you can't do that.
he said that. He did. But
Right in the store.
we did. We had a guy, and Pierce came over. And
I
this
caught
was
it
actually
instantly.
this is one of the better instances of the straw purchase confrontations, because I'm the only guy that has to confront the fucking straw purchase people, not the head compliance fucking commander who's been here for 13 years. He won't do it.
No, I
You
do
can talk
most
to
of
people.
them.
He won't talk like
I do
like,
so many of those things. I just bring you the ones that are going to be a bigger problem than I want to deal with.
Oh, that makes me feel really good. But so
should.
this it does.
It should.
So Pierce is like, boss, can I talk to you? Yeah, sure. Great part of my day. And he's like, this guy, it's a straw sale. He's texting someone about the prices, and it's a straw sale. Just believe me. And so I've come to learn that just if Pierce brings something to me, I'm like, okay.
That means I already tried
not
to fix
even-
it myself, and I couldn't do it.
Not even arguing. I'm like, all right, and I'll go over there. And I go over there, and this kid is sure enough, he's all happy, and he's texting somebody. He's like, and I'm like, hey, are you Jose? And he's like, yeah, I'm Jose.
Well,
like, why are you
to
doing this?
backtrack, he was trying to trade in another gun for cash that he wanted that was his gun, and he was trying to buy the gun for somebody else with different money so that he could get paid back. He didn't even want to trade in the gun that he was trading in for what he was getting. It was like obviously a straw sale.
It was all convoluted, but I went to him and I said, why? I said, look, Jose, I'm not going to. We're going to choose to not do business with you right now, and I'm going to thank you very much for your time, and I'm going to ask you to leave. And he's like, why? I'm like, because you're obviously buying this gun for someone else. No, I'm not. Well, I mean, I am, but I'm not. I'm like, well, why are you texting the person? Who are you texting? The guy about the gun. I'm like, well, why are you texting? So he can pay me money. I was like, exactly, Jose. If you could just leave, that'd be great.
Did he leave peaceful after that? Or was
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the better straw
Yeah.
things ever.
It was hilarious.
It was. I mean, I've had people, get whatever.
Yeah.
Do you carry a truck gun, Omar?
I do not. I don't want it to get broken into and stolen.
Well, then you just carry it wherever you go.
Like,
So you're definitely not a backpack. Like all the guys in here, they carry them in.
yeah. I mean, I can't have a second firearm in that building. Your rules.
Yeah.
So I can't bring
There's
it
so
in.
many of you guys.
Yeah. So
That's fair.
it's mainly Pierce. Pierce had told me that his favorite was a 34. His favorite handgun he had got stolen out of his truck.
Lock truck.
Yeah, and right after that happened, a friend of mine got his truck broken into. Thankfully, he didn't have a gun in there or anything. But then, just like recently in the new place I moved into, I just got a text the other night saying that a lot of cars in our parking lot had been broken into, and to like make sure that nothing's missing from your car and all that. I just think cars get broken into a lot, and I don't want to keep a gun in there. I will, depending on the day, I'll bring like a get home bag, where it won't live in the car, but I'll take it with me from home, and when I come back, I'll bring it back in. But there is no gun that lives in my car. I don't want it to get stolen.
I don't think a truck gun is a gun that definitely lives in your car. I just think it's a
I
gun that
think
you
a lot of people think that.
do. You
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
okay?
Not necessarily that it lives in there, but there's a lot of people who don't take guns out of their car. I do.
I mean,
Damn
I
sure.
carry around a carbine, but I have a carbine in my backpack, so I don't. But I don't ever leave it in my truck.
If you're hot, they're hot.
What about medical?
I do have medical.
Where'd you get the kit?
TRXarms.com.
Oh shit.
I spent time on his website.
Yeah.
I did. So I'm like with the T-Rex guy and how much shit that guy gets. It makes me feel empathetic, and so I've been looking at his website and different things, and the stuff that I want is not in stock.
I'll say that The descriptions in his website are very informative and very well written.
It's an information-based company. They'd like to educate
I
people.
find stuff on there all the time.
Yeah.
I
If you want to learn about a product, every single product they sell, they have like a 5 to 15-minute video right underneath it of one of their guys sitting there explaining everything about the product, which is very, very helpful.
Time consuming as shit too.
You know, you may not. One thing, you may have not gotten the ACR. That really bothers me. I'm sorry, but you did get a free honey badger.
I did.
Fuck yeah.
I did. Q, my gunsmith told me I can't talk love about Q anymore because they gave me something for free. But the very first podcast, I talked about how much I liked Q and the cherry bomb and their taper system. And Q sent me a honey badger, which I still can't believe. Like, I'm holding it now. My background check for it got approved like 2 hours ago. And I still don't believe this is mine. When I take it home, I'm going to be freaking out.
Awesome.
I cannot believe they just sent me a $3,000 gun, and it's like my favorite gun on earth. It's my dream gun. Thank you, Q. Thank you, Kevin.
They didn't send me anything.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
They're gonna take us out to dinner.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
No, you we're doing the Chattanooga show. Damn it! But we're going out to dinner. They're taking all of us. Me, Frank, Pierce, everybody. Kind of nice.
But little old Omar. Everyone but Omar.
You have to go deal with the shipping robots.
Never mind. I'm fine with.
You got a gun.
I did. I'm very happy. I'm
I
extremely.
was
happy.
like, would you turn the gun in for dinner?
Absolutely not. No, I'm keeping this thing till the day I die.
What about you, Dean? Do you carry medical?
No, I do not. I actually do not. I was thinking about it, but as of right now, no.
And when I say medical, Omar, can you give the folks at home like the little definition of what the nomenclature of medical means?
I mean, I'm personally referring to like a full medical kit, usually an IFAC and an individual first aid kit. So basically everything you need to patch yourself up. And then I, at this point, don't have a full-on med kit to help a lot of other people, but I do have something that will patch one person up basically for anything that might happen. T-Rex-arms.com. They sell refill kits, so it's like just a vacuum sealed bag of everything you need to fix someone up. I usually buy one of those and then stick a couple tourniquets next to it, put it in a pouch, and that's my med kit. An individual first aid kit and a couple of tourniquets. That includes, anything from rubber gloves to, chest seals and gauze and bandages and all that. Important stuff. And tourniquets, a lot of tourniquets. I have.
Do you know where I
tourniquets
got my med kit?
Amazon?
Shark Coast Tactical.
Ooh,
Because we have them.
that's cool.
Just saying. What about you, Pierce?
Yeah, I have one in the back of my plate carrier, one in my bag. Then there's those black rolls that we sold.
Is there
for-
one in your car though?
Yeah, I'm getting there. You just interrupted me.
Sorry,
Yeah.
buddy.
The
We haven't fought really the whole podcast.
That's a good thing.
I've been sitting over here and being quiet. There's an IFAC in the backpack on my plate carrier. There's a little one in my backpack that I hunt with, and then there's one of those black med kit rolls that we used to sell with my spare tire in my car.
Right? Yeah, we sold those. Dean, do you have one at home?
Yeah, I have them at home. But I don't know. I just never had one in the car. Now, you guys talking about I need one in the car.
I've got them everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Add lots of duct tape.
Add lots of tourniquets.
Yeah, I have each car.
The black. You still use the black rolls too? You still got some of those?
I think that's in my house in Plant City. I left it there. Like I added shit to it and then I left it there. I think
kinda
it's
like
in my
that.
I think it's in my closet next to the Mosin ammo.
What was it?
Remember in last episode I talked about the Mosin ammo I have
Yeah.
it's at my house in Plant City.
It's a medical kit that rolls up like a sleeping bag does, and you open it up and everything's labeled and then little pouches and everything.
It was cool.
It's kind of nice.
It was cool. We sold those for a while, but med kits never really
They
sold
take up
too
a lot
well.
of space.
Takes a lot of space, but I have them each car, every backpack. I've got them everywhere. I got I have them in my chest rig.
Yeah, everywhere I can stuff a med kit, I do. Everywhere I can't, I stick a tourniquet in there.
And what about for home defense? Is it your Zion?
No, it was my Rattler. It is about to be this lovely little gentleman right here.
And how are you gonna outfit it? Like so this is your for home defense. This is what you would use.
As of right now, as of today, yes. Before, it was always my Sig Rattler.
And tell me how you would outfit that.
Surefire light, I'm probably gonna put a Trijicon MRO on here, but just a good quality red dot, and you can.
Decent flashlight.
Yeah, I don't even have a Surefire light on my Zion, which is like my go-to rifle. But if your life depends on it, go Surefire. So
Pierce, what's yours? Do you have a name for that?
No.
Or shall I just call her Bessie?
That's I usually call it my mid-length rifle or my Knights, I guess, but that gun sits next to my bed. Given the opportunity, I'd love to grab a flashbang and a tomahawk instead.
Did the Marines teach you how to use a tomahawk?
Taught me how to use enough.
Okay. Yeah.
My AR-9. That's my go-to
a much
home
better
defense. Surefire light on there. I think it's a Romeo 5 red dot on there. It's SBR. It's easy for my girlfriend if I'm not home to use it. No recoil. Take her out at least once a month to make sure she knows where everything is and can fire it. That's my go-to. Actually, my Shark Coast AR-9 lower.
Shark Coast low?
Yeah. Love
Mine
it.
is the staccato. I don't know what we call it, but that, like what we call the staccato CX.
CX sounds cool.
The CX. So I have a staccato that we custom did. We took the P frame and added. So we took the P frame.
Did a C2 plus P.
C2 plus P. So this is the staccato CX or C with the, I don't know, the fucking cuts.
It's a C2 with a P grip.
But what was this called? This
X
is
cuts.
X cuts. So the staccato C2 with the X cuts, but then we added the P frame to it, and that's my go-to house gun. Along with, I've got a. This is gonna sound bad, but I have a Diamondback 5.7.
I asked you how that gun was.
It's got a
when you first got
magnifier.
it. That's optimistic. I asked you how you liked that thing when you first got it.
He hates
and you
it.
first went shooting with it, and you went, I love it. And I said, does it work? And you said, fuck no.
So obviously, I'm gonna go for this staccato. It's no, that's I would say the staccato,
If
but
that thing doesn't work, I can use it as a freaking baseball bat.
it's a fucking club.
I would not, in my living situation, I couldn't use 5.56. I live in an apartment complex. I would definitely nail the neighbor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, blackout.
You got a hot neighbor?
Does it matter?
You said you were going to nail the neighbor. I wasn't really paying attention to what you were talking about. Dead air.
Dead air.
So I'm wearing a shirt for the last segment of the podcast, which has a picture of Mandalay Bay on it.
Unsolved mysteries.
Unsolved mysteries.
The deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history, and we still don't have reasoning, a motive.
What's your big reason why not believing in Mandalay Bay? The cookie cutter or the stock answer in Mandalay Bay? Why don't you believe it?
The fact that it was basically an unending stream of fire with allegedly just several ARs with 30-round mags each that he kept swapping out.
I thought he was
The
going
old
to-
guy in the bathrobe.
The old guy in the bathrobe.
Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole thing is, again, it's the deadliest event. It's the deadliest shooting event in U.S. history, and we don't have a motive. And when his brother came out and said, dude, he would never do this, they suddenly found like 3 terabytes of
On the oldest computer
the
anybody's
oldest-
ever seen.
like a Windows XP.
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah,
no, his
2 days
brother-
after the shooting or something like that.
His brother came out and he's like, this is not happening. My brother would never do this.
Then
And
they
then the
got rid of
FBI
that guy.
found like 3 terabytes of like,
Terabytes.
yeah.
Terabytes?
It was an
Terabytes.
insane amount. Like it's,
Are you exaggerating, or did
No.
they found terabytes?
Terabytes.
Jesus. Even I know what a terabyte is. That's a lot.
yeah. But yeah, there's all the people that do the whole like, oh, it's 2 guys with 240s. I don't know if I'd go that far. I just think it's definitely fishy.
It was belt fed.
What do you think?
It wasn't bump stocks, in my opinion. I'll say that.
Bump stocks. One guy with bump stocks doesn't make noises from talking guns. So talking guns is when one machine gun's firing and then when he gets closer to having to reload, the other guy will pick up, the first guy will reload. Then the first guy picks up again, the second guy reloads. That's
So you think there are two?
yeah.
Okay.
Like in the videos, I'll give it at least if we don't want to go as far to say that there were two guys with belt feds, then my guess was 249s. A lot of the guys said the rate of fire was slower than what I thought, so that they wanted to go 240. But it's cutting straws. It's really not that super important of a detail. But
If it was, but the people who were wounded with 5.56 rounds.
that's why 249. So like the video that I saw as soon as it happened was from the taxi stand at one of the hotels, and it was like looking up, and you could hear him getting after it on the belt fed, and it's a very distinct sound. Like you can't make these guns make those noises.
There's videos of well over 30 rounds being fired in a row, and allegedly, again, he was using several ARs with 30-round magazines.
60-round mags.
60-round mags?
Yeah, he had the Surefire mags.
120s.
But then he have a white T-shirt on, and
He did.
that was clean as hell.
He did.
So many rounds.
That's my.
And to say that guy was sitting up in that hotel room shooting out of that one window, point to the window for me, Omar, on the shirt. So the one window, he was sitting in there dumping mags out of whatever. And the brass looked like it was like Easter egg hunted all over the room. When you saw the pictures of it and everything, looks like they were like just tossing it out, like they had a bucket full of brass and were just tossing it. When you shoot like that, it just piles up in the corner, like wherever you're shooting at. Brass isn't going to go flying all over the place unless it's hitting a wall and bouncing like random places like that. There's not going to be brass covering the whole floor of the hotel room. Like 5.56 it ejects like like the angle of which it can eject at. It's going to be pretty close, and it's going to stack them up pretty good. I mean, it's not like you got to go searching around the hotel room picking up all the little pieces of brass. They should be in one spot, relatively.
We can start a section of the podcast called the conspiracy theory section.
I'll bring my tinfoil hat.
Luke would really like that.
We'll get the Faraday bag guy in here with the laser beams and
So my big problem with Mandalay Bay is the guy, the pictures of his body after the man was deceased.
with the house slippers.
He had house slippers on.
Yeah.
He had house slippers on. He had a clean white shirt, and a 442 that he allegedly took his life with, and 6,000 rounds. Was it 6,000 rounds that were dispersed?
I don't remember.
I think it was either 4 or 6. That's the number I remember. At least more than 2,000. But I know you shoot at that.
You know how hot those rifles would have got.
Well, no, I mean you would get so dirty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you go,
covered in shit.
your hands would be covered in shit. Your shirt would be covered in
Just your
shit.
cheek from
your face. Mm-hmm. Like if you go hard at the range for a couple hours, you come back, you're dirty as fuck.
Yeah.
Taste it.
You can taste it. Yeah, you can taste it. I mean, I remember like when I got done shooting every day I get done shooting at the range, I pour water on my hands because it's so much fucking shit all over you.
Yeah.
And this guy was clean, but slippers. Like, how are you gonna shoot a bump fire with slippers? Like, what's he doing?
He just got out of his
like that.
You think he just got out of his barn clothes after shooting all those people and just put on his little nighttime outfit? And
it is possible. That's an idea. He may have said, "I'm
just gonna take a load off and go take a shower and put on my white beater and my slippers and my pajama pants and
exactly."
No, I don't know, man.
A lot of people died. A lot of people got injured.
Sucks.
And I don't know the whole like how little information we have about the whole subject.
God, if they would have just let Dan Blazarian help, he would have saved the day.
Do you think the rest of the world fucking laughs at us with all of the conspiracy bullshit that we have? Like how all the things through, like from the 60s until now of things that have happened in our country, and the rest of the world probably says,
yeah, they killed Kennedy and then they killed Harambe, and everything since then has just been downhill.
Exactly. Fucking Harambe, Kennedy, Malcolm X.
Conspiracy theory today, it's newsworthy a couple years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, you really, it's very easy to go down the pipeline, but I know a lot of my friends who don't look into this stuff a lot, who think like the government would never do that. And it's like, dude, the government would absolutely do that. Have you seen what the government has confirmed done? The government would absolutely do that.
You believe in the moon?
So I think we're going to call it. We've been going for a little over an hour. I appreciate you watching the podcast. If you can, please support us. smash the like button, hit the bell notification. Like our other social media pages, we have an Instagram page, Sharkos Tactical. We have a Facebook page, which is SCT Laser and Customs, because our original one got nuked by the Zuckerberg. And we have a beautiful shop in Sarasota, Florida. We'd have a website, sharkostactical.com. We'd love for you to come meet us, hang out. I'll give you stickers. And maybe I'll give you a tour of the production facility where Omer could possibly be yelling at a robot. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you, guys.
Have a good night.